Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we normally break down one of their records, but we thought this week let's change it up a little bit. Let's just talk about one particular band, kind of their whole career, because with the band we're doing this week, it's just too difficult to just get into one album because there's just too much to talk about and there's too many songs. So
many songs.
What are we doing this week, Jeff?
We're doing the Minutemen and their album Double Nickels on the Dime.
Well, we were going to do that, but now we're just kind of doing a little bit of everything. So, because I didn't take notes for just that album either. Did a little bit of everything, but yeah. Anyway, Minutemen. We're doing the Minutemen, and so we're gonna get into the band history, their records, how they were made, lyrics, and everything in between. My name is Tyler. Way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. We're also not doing a rankings episode this week because it's just too hard to rank them. They're just so interchangeable as well. Outside of Double Nickels on the Dime, everything is so interchangeable. So anyway, let's get into this. Minutemen. Let's get into our origin story with the band. We'll get into some first impressions of these albums and songs and just go from there. This is really just two dudes shitting around.
Two dudes shitting around, baby.
About the Minutemen. So what do you got? Origin story with the band.
Like you're right. It is like we're not gonna sit here and rank fucking 45 songs, right? This is my 1B. This is my 37B. That's crazy.
Just not gonna do that.
That's absolutely asinine radio. So we're not doing that. And a lot of these records, they are interchangeable. They do sound very similar to each other, but they're really fucking good.
Yeah.
And like they've never done a song that's bad. They've never done a bad song. They haven't.
I agree.
So that's why we're not doing like the ranking and everything else, because it's like I don't know. It just seemed too tedious. Too tedious.
There's nothing really negative to say about this goddamn band, honestly.
Too tedious. So
yeah,
my true origin story is Sublime, Waiting for Maruka. The intro to that is a Minutemen song, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. People like them, just like the Descendants. But like Minutemen was never on a Punk-O-Rama comp, as far as I know. And so fast forward to many, many years, my true like introduction to them is when we did the Black Flag episode, and they had that EP, the Minute Flag EP, and I was like, this is fucking good. And the only one song on there had vocals on it, and I actually got that on the vinyls. I know I bought it from Mike Landry. He always sells at the record shows, which I bet you he still has a fucking copy. So next time I go to the next record show, I'm probably gonna buy it again. But that was like my introduction to the Minutemen, was that Black Flag episode. But even then, it was only Minute Flag EP, and then Double Nickels, which once it clicked in my head that the local favorite shop, Double Nickels, Ghost TV Side Records in Tempe, Arizona, was named after this Minutemen thing, and that was during the Black Flag episode. Then I kind of like really got into the Double Nickels record.
Yeah,
and then I don't know, bought it from him also. But like I don't have like a lot of old nostalgia for this band or rich history. It's just a band that people have talked about and love, but even less than like the Descendants.
Yeah,
like everyone that talks about them loves this band. They're inspirational for so many, especially Bradley Knoll. Like dude always talks about him, but even less than the Descendants. I guess I shouldn't say less accessible than the Descendants were.
Definitely.
The Descendants weren't that accessible to begin with anyway. Outside of like Punk-O-Rama comps and stuff, they never really toured. They took so much time off constantly, so like they just weren't that accessible. They didn't play all the big festivals we went to, right?
True.
So like that's not necessarily all of our fault.
It's more your fault than anybody else's, though.
But not with Minutemen. Dude died way too fucking early. So it's like
which we'll
there's
get into
no
that
reason
too,
to get in. There's no reason to get into this band outside than I want to listen to like every music that my idols listen to. But it's like, come on.
Yeah,
I can't do everything.
All right, my first my origin story, which I didn't even know it was this band until probably like 10 years ago, is the song Corona. That's the theme song for Jackass, the Jackass TV show. And yeah, I never knew it was the Minutemen. I've always heard the Minutemen name throughout the years, but I never heard any songs. And then I realized, or I saw a video on YouTube like 10 years ago of, this is the band that does the Jackass theme song. And I watched them play and I'm like, this is not what I expected at all. And it was, because it's so different that, I mean, the song Corona is really different than most of their songs. And so it never made me want to take a deep dive into the rest of their music. I just had no fucking clue. And then that's all I knew about the Minutemen, was that it was the Jackass theme song, and that so many bands I knew and liked loved this band, but it was never enough to get me to go back. And I mean, you've talked about Minutemen. I was there when you bought the Double Nickels on a Dime record. You're like, there's another copy you got to buy. I'm like, nah, I'm fine.
I told you.
I'm fine.
Two there.
There were 2 copies. I'm fine. I'll wait. I'll listen to it and then I'll get back to you. Never got back to you. But this week was really, honestly, my first time listening to this band. Blown away. Absolutely.
How exciting. I know. So exciting.
I was so impressed. I couldn't stop. I listened to all of their records in one day. I listened to all their music, all the EPs, listened to all their records.
Because you can. They're pretty fucking short.
Yeah, I know. Their longest record was their last record. Oh yeah, but technically, 80 minutes. But yeah, no, it was truly fucking great. Not what I was expecting. Elements of hardcore punk, math rock, some like shit Fugazi would do later on. Black Flag, but done way, way better than Black Flag ever did. Just goddamn, dude, just everything that you want in a band is here, and it's 3 dudes making so much noise. And then we watched the documentary, We Jamicano. It was great. It's been a solid week of brand new music for me. I'm going to buy several of these on vinyl, and just stoked, man. So that's my origin story first, and that's also my first impressions on this band, because damn, they were fucking good, really fucking good.
Yeah, they were. I mean, like my origin story is not that much different. Like I'm not a huge fan of this band. Like I don't know these songs outside of like 4 of their songs. So this week was the first time I've listened to pretty much everything here except for Double Nickels and then Minute Flag. Mm-hmm. So this is my first time too, and I like, this is incredible. Like some of the stuff is absolutely fucking incredible. Their first EP, The Paranoid Time, is like 5 minutes long. Truly incredible. Just like really, really, really good hardcore punk, like in the vein of like Black Flag, but they just don't,
tighter,
because they don't care about like adding seconds to add seconds, right? Like like, hey, we have a 40-second song. Should we add more? Like, nah, it's cool. Fuck it. Like that's it, and that's cool. Like I want that. I don't want fluff. Just give me the meat and potatoes. That's it. And that's what Minutemen always did, like every fucking time. Until this hit, and then after this, it got a little bit worse, but not a whole lot. It
still wasn't bad. But it still wasn't bad. It was just different,
for sure.
Which we'll get into. But yeah. So yeah, when we did the Black Flag episode like 4 years ago, I did listen to the Minute Flag episode as well, or the Minute Flag EP as well. But at the time, I wasn't impressed, and even this week, I wasn't that impressed listening to it, because Greg Ginn is fucking obnoxious, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like a lot of Black Flag, but everybody has to admit Greg Ginn is like so fucking annoying sometimes, and he's annoying on that fucking record. There's some amazing moments on Minute Flag, but overall, it's just a fucking Greg Ginn wink fest. And we all know D. Boone was a better guitar player than Greg Ginn ever was, and Greg Ginn always. It seemed like after listening this week, it just seems like this is the band that Greg wanted Black Flag to be, but just was not.
For sure.
Like this is
absolutely, especially like guitar wise. And I mean, no offense to Bill Stevenson, who's just one of the greatest punk drummers of all time, but the Georgie boy in this band, like
George Hurley,
like, where the fuck did you come from, my guy? Like what? Like you don't play drums your whole life? Like how are you playing these weird jazzy prog beats and like blending them back into hardcore punk? Like how? What?
And just how incredibly tight the motherfucker was, too. Like, I couldn't believe how quick his snare and hi-hat play was. It was unreal. And the way he would incorporate the toms with everything else, it never seemed busy. Even though it was busy, it never felt like it was busy. Yeah. And it was just so fucking tight. Every song was. I mean, Mike Watt is like one of the squirreliest bass players I've ever heard in my life. And it's like Matt Freeman, but like way fucking crazier. And yet it all blends, it all makes sense without sounding rushed or without sounding like a fucking mess. I'm just so blown away by the rhythm section of this band. I mean, honestly, D. Boone is my least favorite part of this band, but
the guitar playing or the singing?
But well, definitely the singing. But even still, the guitar playing is great. But Mike, the way Mike and Georgie Boy play off of each other that rhythm section is unreal. I just can't believe how complicated and tight that fucking rhythm section is. It's fucking unreal.
See, I think and watching the documentary and then reading about them and seeing how like they both started at the same time. Like these guys never picked up an instrument in their fucking life. Even Georgie Boy, like until this band essentially, and then watching the progression from day one to like, the death of Minutemen, for where Mike ended up versus for when like Boone ended up. Dude, Boone is beyond like a great guitarist in the punk community. Mike Watt like ended up where I thought you would probably end up if you're like a punk bassist and you're trying to like be a little bit more experimental. But Boone was on a different fucking level. Weirdness aside, Boone was like a guitar player's guitar player.
He was really
whereas
good.
like Mike Watt was just like what should I do to make me sound like I'm trying to play the bass? And that's why he switched from like a pick to fingers, because he got really into like Parliament Funkadelic and he got into more funk music. He's like, oh, this is what I should be playing, right? More emphasis on like the backbeat and more stuff like that. That's typical of a bass player. I get it. Where Boone took the guitar playing in the punk community is stuff that like we still haven't heard shit like this before. Like no one still can do this. The only other band that I think comes close to like sounding like the Minutemen is the Vandals.
Yeah, because Warren he's such a unique guitar player. I get that.
And there's a couple songs on this record and over the course of the career, I'm like, dude, this is a Vandal song.
I could do that. But half the length of a Vandal song.
But yeah, 10 seconds of a Vandal song for sure.
But no, I get it. I think Warren Fitzgerald from the Vandals is one of the most unique punk guitar players I think there is. I mean, he's technically fucking great. He comes up with great fucking parts, and D Boone's the same way. The way he incorporates blues and country into punk music is so fucking great. But it's never overdone. It always has tinges of it, and he's always playing like a Telecaster or a Strat. I fucking love it, man. That
black Telecaster that they showed all throughout the fucking documentary. Like that's the bee's knees right there. I think had D Boone lived longer, I think he would have been a better Warren.
Yeah, I would say so. But I'm so curious because it's like you get the last two records, or EP and record, Project Merch and Three-Way Tie, and they're just like, they're so different from everything else. It's super slick production, slower songs, longer songs, and they're way more of like country, like more country influenced and all that kind of stuff. A little bit more complicated guitar parts. But I'm curious. If he hadn't died in 1985, where would it have gone? Where would this music have gone? Would it have gone more metal? Would it have gone more country for a few years and then got back to punk? It's just like there's so many questions because they did so much in 5 years.
Yeah,
so much fucking music in 5 years.
And like, who knows? Because the state of punk itself, right in the early '80s, like punk rock didn't exist. Like there wasn't a thing. It was just here's what we're playing. This is something different than what was being playing in like the late '70s. Like nobody called this like punk rock or like hardcore punk. It was just that's what it sounded like. We're not the Sex Pistols or the Ramones anymore. This is something different. And so the Minutemen are doing a sound that's not like anybody else. And the Black Flags, they're really the ones pushing everything forward. And Greg Ginn, slop aside, like he is responsible for a lot of the best of all hardcore punk known to man. But Minutemen were pushing the boundaries even before anybody else was, even like the fucking Descendants. Like their first EP came out in 1980, and it's fucking weird. Mm-hmm. It is hardcore punk, but it's got a little bit weird tinge to it. So I think like as punk progressed in the 80s and got to like more like Minor Threat and like the East Coast kind of like super super hardcore shit, I think we would have seen a repeat of Double Nickels had he lived to like forever or whatever it is. Late 80s, I think we'd have seen like a repeat of Double Nickels, because Double Nickels was an attempt at them to be a little bit more commercial.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to make money, right? Like especially touring and shit. And you want to make money, people to come to your shows. And one of the last tours they did, they opened up for REM. And
that was
like,
the
dude,
last
like
tour they did.
REM is a stadium band. They're playing to fucking stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
Punk music does not translate well to stadiums. It's not. It's a more intimate experience. It's more of a, I'm going to watch you play, and I'm going to spit on you, and I'm going to have a good time doing it, but not in a stadium format. So I think had we seen more Minutemen, it would have just, I don't know, man. I think they would have evolved punk in a way that we would not have seen. Because even like the Vandals, we love the Vandals, but they're kind of just following in the footsteps of like Minutemen.
Yeah.
Like everything the Vandals did, all the quirkiness, all the goofiness, even though they took it to like the more extreme and the more fun aspect of it, they took a lot from the Minutemen, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot.
Absolutely.
There's no fear.
I love it.
Like the old fucking, remember the kid with the spiky hair in the 90s, the no fear?
Oh, yeah, that's so stupid. Peeing on whatever sticker you put it on.
Yeah, with the backwards hat and everything, too.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Fuck. Oh, and then also, so it's a trio, the three guys, and they don't look like normal punkers, especially D. Boone. He's a heavy dude, pretty heavy guy, looks like a country hick, and he's jumping around the stage like he weighs 100 pounds. Like he has so much energy for such a big guy, and he never fucks up playing his guitar. Like he's jumping around, moving around, swinging the guitar around, and just singing and never missing a note, never fucking up. And that's another thing too. These guys weren't typical punkers. They didn't look like any guys in the hardcore scene. They didn't have the mohawks. The closest thing they had to the punker look was Georgie Boy. He had the long hair in the front, so he kind of looked like the Flock of Seagulls guy. But that was like the closest thing to punk, which I mean that's not even really punk. But otherwise, Mike Watt didn't look like a punker either. He was just some kind of lanky, I don't know, just dude. Like he was so normal looking. But none of them none of them fit the aesthetic at all. And that's another cool thing too. They blew almost every punk band out of the water in the early 80s, and they didn't fall under that aesthetic of a punker at all. I love it.
And it really did seem like every band that saw them play early on was like, dude, these guys are better than like my band. Yeah. Even like in the doc, obviously everyone's gonna be praising it or whatever. But I've seen like Bradley Noel fucking love the Minutemen. He said, I wish I was in the Minutemen. I wish my band was this good. And a lot of the songs from Sublime, like especially coming from this week, I've made some notes too. A lot of like Sublime intros are fucking Minutemen intros, like through and through.
They are. No, you're right.
And I don't think that's just like regional, because like Ian MacKaye also fucking loves the Minutemen, and I think
look at Fugazi. Fugazi is his version of the Minutemen.
Well, so is like Minor Threat. Like what he
I would say
envisioned
more
Minor
Fugazi,
Threat
though.
to be, like what Minor Threat eventually became, like just kind of having like real songs and joke songs and things like that. There's a lot of Minutemen in Minor Threat, which also means like, extrapolate from that the DC hardcore punk scene. Even like fucking Dead Milkman, dude. Like Dead Milkman's entire aesthetic is punk rock girl and Beelzebub and goofy punk music. Like Weird Al Yankovic meets Minutemen.
Yeah.
Like it's wild. It's fucking wild. Like how much the Minutemen is talked about, but also not talked about in professional circles.
Yeah. And these guys are just some random guys from San Pedro, California. And you ask, where's San Pedro? Right next to Long Beach. Nobody really cares. It's a
docking station.
Yeah, for ships. That's really what San Pedro is. That's the only.
During the pandemic, all those fucking ships were sitting outside of Long Beach and San Pedro for months at a time.
Yeah. But it's really cool to see somebody like Ian MacKaye from Fugazi and Minor Threat, and just saying like these guys are so fucking great. They're such an influence. And you listen to those records from both of those bands, and it's Minutemen all over them. And this guy's a DC hardcore. It's a very different style of hardcore compared to the West Coast hardcore. Yeah. And then even throwing them up against Black Flag, Descendants, and all the West Coast hardcore. There's nothing that sounds like fucking Minutemen. The little bit later punk bands like NoFX sound nothing like fucking Bad Religion. Sounds nothing like Minutemen. They're just like, everybody wants to try to sound like them, but nobody does sound like Minutemen. They're just so unique. They're so cool. They're just so fucking cool. And they weren't pretentious. They weren't trying to make us to cause trouble. Their lyrics, a lot of their lyrics were like politically charged and things like that, but it wasn't like in your face. It wasn't like Dead Kennedys in your face or anything like that. And even a band like Dead Kennedys and Jello, he was in the documentary too, talking about how fucking amazing Minutemen were, and he was just so blown away by them. Every like everybody who was in punk at the time had nothing but great things to say about Minutemen, and just being absolutely blown away by all three members. Like individually, just blown away by all of them. It was so cool.
I can't get over just how how muggles these guys are. Like how fucking nobody these dudes are. Like nobody knew how to play it. Like they didn't know what Mike didn't know what a fucking bass was.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Like over and over, like he has said, like, dude, I had no idea what a bass guitar was. Like I thought like you just like took strings off of a guitar and therefore now it's a bass, and like that was his first bass. Like, he thought was a bass, and it really was just a guitar with not the top two strings on. And like the whole, tuning the guitar and the bass. He's like, no, I just thought like looser strings was a preference. So
we play with looser strings.
Which means like they still like understood like harms and stuff. They still understood like what a G was, right?
But they didn't know what a key, like playing in a certain key or singing in a certain key. Which is so cool too. Like what a weird way of learning an instrument.
Like that's just like the most difficult way to learn an instrument as like you could possibly do, right? Like an untuned fucking bass guitar. But I'm playing in key with you, but I have to like do so much extra work than if someone just told me like, dude, just tune it to this.
Yeah.
And then it'd be easier.
Well, the story went too. So Mike Watt and D Boone, they met when they were like probably 9 or 10 years old. They were playing outside and D Boone's friends, ditched him and he fell out of a tree. Mike Watt happened to be just right there. And they just kind of started talking as kids and they're like, do you want to hang out? You want to go play? Like, yeah. And then they literally became best friends at that moment. And then D Boone's mom said, they're like, well, we want to play instruments. And D Boone's mom said, okay, well, D Boone, or Dennis, that's his real name. He'll play guitar. I'll teach him how to play the guitar. And Mike, you could play bass. And that's how it started. And so she taught her son how to play guitar. And then it just kind of expanded from there. They played in bands in high school, cover bands playing CCR, Blue Oyster Cult, just all this kind of shit. And just coming from a solid background, honestly, and then just jumping into this, they get into punk rock in '77, and that's it. That's all. That changed everything for them. It's so cool.
That whole story of them, because there was a little bit of woods out there, and Mike like coming through the woods because he'd see something or hear something, and then Boone falls out of a tree next to him. That very like Mark and Tom kind of sounding too.
It is,
there,
right.
Like,
with the light pole,
Mark and the light pole coming down, like that's very Mark and Tom, and like just that lifelong friendship after that, which was not that long, but short-lived.
Which is another thing too. I mean, we'll get more into it to D Boone's death, but real quick regarding that, after he died, Mike Watt was never the same. He did like one band after that, but only reluctantly. He created that band called Firehouse. Firehouse or Firehose?
Good too.
I didn't listen to him.
Either Firehouse or Firehose, I don't know.
I think it's Hose, but yeah, that was like the only thing he ever did, and he only did it for a couple years, and that was it. Like he was so devastated. It was like almost like Buck Owens when his I forgot the guy's name. What's the guy's name from the band?
His name too. The guitarist.
I feel like it was one of those things where your best friend dies, and you lose all ambition, all desire to play music, and. Yeah, Mike Watt has never really done anything since, outside of a few songs.
Buck did put it nicely. I mean, not nicely, but he did put it like personally, and he was like, "Yeah, after like he died, like I feel like a piece of me died too, and I will never be the same." But like Mike Watt's done a lot of stuff, right? He just never done a lot of consistent. Like he's not in a band that for the like 20 years have gone on. Yeah. Like he does a lot of. He jumps around. He's a homie hopper, is what it is, for lack of a better a phrase. He has done a lot of fucking shit, but he's definitely a homie hopper. And I think he just likes playing music. But like he says it all the time, and take it for whatever it's worth. People probably say these things a lot. But he did say that Double Nickels was like his crowning achievement as a musician and almost as a person. Like it was the best thing that he's ever done in his life. And like I don't disagree with that.
I totally get it. Yeah. I mean, it's such an incredible record that I would be. I mean, anybody should be proud of making this record.
It's crazy. Yeah. It is absolutely fucking crazy that this record comes out and these songs are this short, and there's 43 of them. Some of are not on. Some are not on.
Some are
2 or 3 not on Spotify. But we have. Well, did you buy the vinyls eventually or no?
No, because I was gonna buy it at that record store I went to, Rat Hole Records in Riverside, but they were wanting $50 for it. It was a new sealed repress, and it's like, come on, I can get this at any other record store for $20 less.
It's true.
So, yeah,
it is true.
I did not buy it there.
Hold out. Maybe I'll order it for our next shipment by the time you come out here.
Or maybe I'll just buy it on Amazon, or next time I go to White Rabbit, I might pick it up from White Rabbit, because that's honestly
I'm
the
sure.
only other,
I'm sure he has that White Rabbit.
yeah, it's the only record store I go to out here anymore, unless it's a store I've never been to. But otherwise, yeah, in Orange County, that's the only store I go to.
It's funny too. Like you keep going to stores you've never been to, like hoping you'll find this gem, and you never do.
Never do.
And you never do.
Although there was
you
one
never did.
There was one in like on the way to San Diego that was really cool. It was called Standard Record Store. That one was really cool. It's in Vista, California. And I went there before a work event once, and that place was pretty rad. I bought some cool shit there, but I'm never gonna drive down to fucking Vista. It's like over an hour away. Never gonna go there again.
That's crazy. Like you've gone to like, I think for every one record store I've been to in my life, you've probably been to 4.
It's true. Well, I mean, since we started collecting, a lot of my job has been outside sales and going all over Orange County, LA County, San Diego. So it's like I have a lot of free time, so it's like I might as well go hit up a local record store. So I've been to so many all over the fucking place.
But like your perception of a record store versus like my perception is only just I don't want to be an LA record store, so we do things differently. Like you have a good, well-rounded like scope of what a record store as a collector you would want it to be like.
Yeah.
You start your own store.
Fuck, man, I would love to. I would really, really love to.
Start your own store. You literally could start your own store and just charge 15% less than White Rabbit.
Yeah, it's true. And there's so many like open. I've looked it up too. There's so many like open, vacant lots to fucking lease out too. Just like literally right around the corner, next to the liquor store. You know, around the corner from me. Even the old liquor store next to Stater Brothers.
Too. Yeah.
Even the old liquor store next to Stater Brothers. That one's been empty for like 2 years.
The one, so like the one by your house too, with the liquor store and there's a dance studio.
Yeah.
And there's an empty spot like right next to it. And I was like, dude, that'd be a cool spot for a record store.
2 empty spots. Yeah.
Because you get all the people from like the BFE area, like going into Corona, because there's no other store in that area.
Yeah.
And if you like if you're good at analytics and shit, I mean, cross over like the freeway and get all the people, all the rich white people over there. They probably got like good classic rock shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Telling you.
Just, I need the upfront capital to do it. But
you have the inventory.
I have. Yeah, look behind me. Look at all this shit right here. I would honestly probably purge if I were to ever open a record store, I'd purge
half of it.
I'd
half of it.
Yeah.
Half.
Yeah, I purge half.
Bro, you need to purge like 80% of it.
Just get the fuck out of here. You're stupid.
Do you really have anything in there in the 20% range that like you're never going to see again?
Probably less than 10%. Yeah.
Like what? Like what? I don't know. What in your yeah?
I mean, in the end, I mean, yeah, any of this stuff you could find again on Discogs or fucking wherever. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But anyway, back to Minutemen.
Do it tomorrow.
Do we kind of want to just go through their EPs, albums, just kind of go through it chronologically? Because I didn't write specific.
Let's do
notes
song by song track, or song by song list
of all their songs.
We'll do 4 minutes per song. And then we'll be here forever. I don't know. Yeah, we could do. I don't fuck. There's so much stuff here for such a small amount of time. I have more notes for the first half of their discography versus the second half. So I think we can go chronologically and talk more about the first half and then breeze through the second half. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I wrote very brief notes for all their EPs and albums. So yeah, we'll just start from the beginning. So Paranoid Time, or let's start actually before we jump into that. Let's talk about the first gig they ever played. They opened up for Black Flag, The Descendants, and then a band called Alley Cats. Alley
Plugs.
Cats. Was it the Plugs?
It was there's 4 bands.
Oh, was there 4? Okay.
It was 1979.
Yeah, but yeah, the big ones: Black Flag, Descendants. That's fucking crazy.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. But anyway, and this is what era was this? Was maybe Dez was the singer of Black Flag?
This is before Rollins. This is only Nervous Breakdown right now. Like this is pre. I mean, Black Flag is just Henry Rollins essentially.
Yeah.
And some of the peers like, well, actually, they had other fucking fingers.
Ron Reyes was the best. Which I get. Ron Reyes was the second best.
Get the fuck out of here, dude! Like this, Black Flag is Henry Rollins, and I don't give a fuck. But yeah, like that's crazy. And not only that, but their first gig, actually that wasn't like that was their first gig at the Minutemen. They had already played as the Reactionaries before that, so people knew who they were. Gregan knew who they were, and to his testament to his wisdom, he saw something in him, and very recently after that was like, hey, do you guys want to make a record? Like, you do through SST. Like, that's cool if you want to do it. Mm-hmm. Like, the whole history of SST is fucking badass too. And how Greg is like 12, 13 years old, essentially starting a label, but not music yet, just like selling old radios and shit, and then building up enough income and capital to start doing like Black Flag shit.
I mean, so much shit can be talked on Greg and we talk shit on him too, but the guy, he knows what he's fucking doing. Like, he's one of the most ambitious, marketing, and he's so ambitious. Such an ambitious dude, especially in the 80s, late 70s, 80s. So, I don't know. Props to him. But yeah, he signed him to SST. He signed this band to SST, put out this one, and just talk about how quickly these EPs and records were made is astonishing.
Some of these, which one was it? I think it was Bean Spill or the one after that. It was the EP that was recorded after their second record, but released before their second record, because it was only like 4 songs and like 10 minutes long, and they're like, just get it out there real quick.
Yeah.
But it was recorded after it, and they were still mixing the other one, which it's funny too, because in the documentary they talk about, like, this one took a lot longer to mix the second record than the first. It was like 4 days.
I know. And there's a comment that Georgie Boy says about Double Nickels, but I'll get into that when we get to that record. But yeah, in the end, Paranoid Time was the first thing that they came out with, first EP. They recorded this in one late night session because it was cheaper to record late at night, and they did it. It was like 4 songs, I believe, 5 songs, but it's only 3 minutes long, the EP, and it's so rad, man. It's just like fucking solid hardcore. It is
fucking good. It is
like complex hardcore. That's what this is. It's fucking incredible.
It's a good collection of songs that could also be great songs, but I'm happy with it just being, shortened versions of those like great songs.
Yeah.
A lot of Black Flag influence on this one too.
So much.
This is their most non-Minutemen sounding record they've ever done.
I would agree with you. Yeah.
This is clearly Black Flag influenced.
It's almost all hardcore, but a little bit more complex. But as you progress, which we'll talk about, it does get more, more math rock, certainly more funky as you go on. Like you mentioned earlier, Mike Watt stopped playing with a pick, and he started just playing with just his hand, his fingers, and that's when the slap really comes into play. And in the documentary too, Flea from Chili Peppers is all over the documentary talking about how much he loves this band, and Mike Watt's playing. And then you realize, wow, so much of 80s Chili Peppers is Mike Watt.
Oh, absolutely. Like, except Mike Watt was never like that good at the bass. Like he even though he switched to his fingers, his manipulation was never like that great. It was good, and he's a fantastic songwriter, and he writes incredible rhythms. But then you see like Flea took it and was like, oh, I can do that, but I'm gonna just be better at it, and then he was better at it. So Mike Watt is foundational, like bass playing stuff for any punkers or anybody trying to start any kind of rock band in the 80s. But Mike Watt was never great the way I think Boone was great at the guitar.
I agree with you there. I do agree with you there. Also, Mike Watt and D. Boone, they wrote like everything. I think Mike Watt ended up writing more of the songs than D. Boone did in the end. But yeah, they were the primary. He was
tired of D. Boone's fucking stupid lyrics and just like, oh, why don't you just say whatever the fuck you want to say? It doesn't make any sense. I liked reading a lot too, and reading and hearing and seeing them talk a lot about how all these guys just did was fight the whole time.
They fought each other, yeah.
But fought in the way that like the podcast happens. Like they just fought for the fucking sake of just fighting. And the guys in Black Flag would egg them on and shit. And like, oh yeah, you guys should fight about this. And like Mike Watt said this or Boone said this. Like, what do you think about that? And like just make them fight with each other. But at the end of the day, they can give a shit and it'll be all done with.
Yeah, they're best friends. They're like brothers, and they just don't. They never took anything they said to each other to heart, and it was all just kind of not say it was done in fun, but it was just so passionate and just like in the end they knew like what they did with this band was just so magical. Like honestly, that's a good way to put it too. Is like just magical. How everything just fell into place with this goddamn fucking band. And then there was a story in the doc too that Georgie Boy was saying that there was one time it was the three of them, and then I think the guy from Saccharine Trust, they were in the car together, and D Boon and Mike were just fucking fighting like crazy about like their music or whatever. And like, you know what, when we get back, the band's fucking done. And D Boon said, I'm gonna take fucking George and we're gonna start our own fucking band and fuck you. And then Mike turned around and like woke George up. He was like, hey man, when we get back, we're done with the band and you're coming with me to my band. And George's like, what the fuck? I'm gonna start my own fucking band. Fuck you guys.
He's like, fuck both of you. You guys both suck. I'm doing my own fucking thing. Like that's just like perfect, like outsider, like third party to two people that are just, they don't shut the fuck up about something so stupid.
But I loved it. I think it was so cool. These guys just really loved each other, like just like musically and personally. And then, like we said, when D Boon died, they didn't go on as the Minutemen. They didn't really do anything. Nothing significant after this band. They just didn't want to. So,
and then when Georgie Boy and Mike Watt would play Minutemen songs, they would not be called Minutemen. It would be, Mike Watt and Giorgio Moroder. What the fuck is his name?
Hurley.
I don't know. George Hurley. George Hurley. That's a cool name too, actually.
Yeah, that's a cool name.
George Hurley. But they would play Minutemen songs, but they wouldn't have a guitar player. They would work around it,
which is still so cool.
I know, that's so
rad.
fucking awesome. Like,
because Mike,
fucking true, man.
Mike sings a lot of the songs too. He's not just a bass player and songwriter.
Yeah.
He sings like a good chunk of these songs, which is really cool. I love it.
But then how do you do a song like Corona, right? How do you do a song like Corona without Boone in there? Like it's just hillbilly shit without any
I also like
to
his nickname is D Boone. Like it's like this. It's such a hillbilly fucking nickname.
Yeah,
I love
Beelzebubba.
That's so fucking good.
It's good. And yeah, so like even just the country thing too, like D Boone growing up, his parents listened to a lot of like funk and soul and then Western music and then like the whole Bakersfield sound from Buck Owens. So there's a shit ton of like country twang and influence in his guitar playing, which bleeds into his guitar playing, which also like bled into Mike Watt's bass playing. And I think if we're finally going to get into music or songs now, like Corona is the big one, where Corona, like if we're listing bangers, Corona would definitely be my top three. Like it's too nostalgic. It holds too much like core memories for me through Jackass for it not to be like top three. But then watching in that doc, then I went and watched a longer video of them playing at the Irvine Meadows. I was like, damn, dude, like Mike Watt was fucking, dude, he could have been a country bass player.
Yeah,
like, dude was on fucking real. Like their live performance of them playing that song, it was uncanny. It was unbelievable. You were so exciting.
I agree. I totally agree. God, Corona, like, yeah, taking the nostalgia and the Jackass thing out of it, that is such an incredible song. Just the little nuances.
Where do you get the fucking balls for this either?
The little nuances and flourishes that D Boone does on the guitar too. Bam, 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 bam. And then boom, 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 boom. It's the fucking country polka thing going on. Oh my god, dude!
And he played a telly, right? So like he probably just bending the fucking neck as best as he can, because there's no like whammy bar on that thing. So all that.
Yep. It's so fucking. And that's another thing too that adds to like the country stuff, the hot sound. Playing with a Telecaster, playing punk music with a telly. That's crazy.
Dude.
That's fucking
a clean telly.
Yeah, clean telly. Yeah, he's not. They're like a lot of these songs don't have a lot of distortion on it, a lot of crunch on it. I mean, it's just like straight up his fucking solid guitar playing on a telly. It's fucking incredible.
It was his guitar. It was his solid guitar playing, and it was not received well though.
No,
right? In like the early days of Black Flag, especially SST, and the fact that like hardcore punk music was getting banned all around LA areas, and police got involved and. That first show they played with Minutemen and Descendants, I mean, that turned into like a riot. Like they were tearing down the fucking halls. They're breaking down doors. It turned into basically like a riot. And so LAPD got heavily involved anytime Black Flag would play a show, to the point where Greg Guinness stated like undercover agents were posing as homeless guys outside of SST headquarters just to see like what's going on over there. And so I think this is also why Greg Ginn's a fucking genius marketer, is he starts his label and he's like, oh, I'm going to be a hardcore punk label only. And the second release they do is a band that's not hardcore punk like at all.
I know this band is the Minutemen.
That's like Greg Ginn saying, whoa, look at. We're not just a hardcore punk label that's just going to fucking like wreak havoc on your city. See, like, check out the Minutemen. They're not so hardcore. And then I think that was a calculated part on him, that A, that he saw something in them, and then B, it was a good buy, because they're not
your traditional hardcore band. Yeah.
They're not taking their shirts off and trying to fight everybody in the fucking crowd.
They probably don't have the skinheads, all that kind of shit coming to the shows. The same ones that would go to the Black Flags, the Suicidals, the Circle Jerks, all that kind of shit. None of that.
There was, what song was it? Oh, Fanatics. So I did read the song Fanatics. That was from the Punchline, their first record.
Yeah, which we'll get into next. Yeah.
There's I guess we can get into it now because I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we'll hop into it.
So like that's their first record. It's like fucking 15 minutes long, right? Just
18 songs.
Like Circle Jerks style, like
18 songs, 15 minutes.
And I like this is a perfect example of why I think the Circle Jerks are so fucking overrated. Like, I just don't like the Circle Jerks. I don't care about them because they put out an album that's just about the same exact length as this. And Circle Jerks is like, who gives a fuck about that, right? There's like nothing in there is melodic.
It's still
nothing
a good
in there is
record.
new. It's
still
fine.
good.
It's fine. It's fine for like posterity's sake. It's cute if you have like a big collection of punk and you want, put the Circle Jerks in there because they were there. I respect it because they were there, but it's not a great record. This is something fucking different. But anyway, there's a live version of Fanatics that was taken from a show in Brixton in '83. This is from one of the later EPs or live versions they put out. Anyway, Brixton, '83, England. Apparently a bunch of like English skinheads were like pissing all over the band and fucking spitting on everybody and acting like a bunch of fucking racist dickheads. So Boone, guitar in tow, fucking playing Fanatics, jumped in the crowd. He's a big guy. And he started mowing down skinheads, just like moshing in there and like shoulder checking, still playing the guitar, never missed a fucking beat, and jump back on stage and finish the song.
Love that. Love that shit.
And I don't read books, but Rollins mentioned that in his book or his memoir or whatever. So I did read a lot of excerpts, which is weird because I feel like I should just read the book instead of reading so much excerpt from a book.
I honestly, I think you reading like biographies, autobiographies, you'd probably really enjoy. You'd probably really like it. Probably the only books you'd ever enjoy reading.
And reading's reading's just too nerdy. Like if I read, I feel like I should like punch myself or something. It's just nerd. It's dorky.
So stupid.
It's just dorky.
Even when you're like spinning records, just fucking pick up a book, man.
I pick up my computer and read Wikipedia.
Just read a fucking book. It's
articles
no different.
And excerpts.
It's no different. Just pick up a fucking book and read it while you're spinning records instead of playing video games. Just fucking do that.
Like a laptop makes you look like techie. Like, oh yeah, I'm hacking somebody.
Who are you trying to impress in your office? Who are you trying to impress in your office?
I know nobody.
Maybe one of your kids are gonna walk in. Maybe Renee's gonna walk in and she's just gonna make fun of you.
They all hate everything anyway. Like they all think everything that I do in there is dorky anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
I got plenty of books. You can borrow some books.
You have way too many books. Way too many books.
But anyway, Punchline. Yeah, 1981. This is their debut record. They recorded this in one session, one night, late night session, and they did it in order, front to back. Yeah, they just ran through it. It's essentially a live record in studio. They used previously used tape. Like everything about this is like so dirty and just
reused tape.
It's just
that's crazy.
I love it, and it still sounds like a solid punk record. Like it doesn't sound like a piece of shit recording. It sounds pretty decent for fucking what it is. And I don't know, man. The Punchline is. I would get this on vinyl. I would get everything on vinyl except the last two things. The Mersh Project was a Mersh Project, and Three-Way Tie. Yeah, Project Mersh. Project Mersh. I wouldn't get that, and I wouldn't get Three-Way Tie.
Yeah, same. I wouldn't get those either.
But otherwise, I'd get everything else. This is all just fucking great, and it's so just short and sweet.
Would you get Minute Flag?
I wouldn't get Minute Flag. No.
Oh.
Everything after Double Nickels, I wouldn't get.
Okay.
So, Punchline though, it's great. Let's move on. Joy.
Let's move on.
Second EP from 1981. It's really just kind of more the same, more just hardcore punk infused with some more complex instruments, songs. But otherwise, it's like 4 songs. There's not really much about Joy, like much to say about it.
This is the one that was recorded after their first record, but released just before their first record.
Yeah.
So it was recorded like months after, but released like weeks before their first record.
True. And then
which I don't understand why, because these all take a day to fucking do everything.
I know. And most of these records have no overdubs. They have nothing. It's just there's nothing to these records. They're just let's get in, record. That's it. That's all. No,
I love that though, like reusing tape, right? And then also using like Black Flag's practice studio. So now they have a real studio it's not theirs, but they think it's theirs, and so they can do whatever they want with it. And Black Flag's not a huge fucking band right now, right? We're still like Damage has just come out.
Yeah, Damage came out in 82, 81?
81.
81?
So Damage has just come out. So like Black Flag's not this fucking world renowned like band that everybody fucking knows. Like Damage just came out. They're making waves in like the SoCal area. But like to the Minutemen, they're Zeppelin, they're God.
They're royalty, yeah.
And now like, oh, we get to use Black Flag's practice space. That's crazy. It's like, dude, what?
These guys are living in a squat like with 10 other people. It's like,
yeah. I mean, that's the name of their doc, right? Is like we jam Econo, and like Econo's economy. Like we're fucking cheap as fuck. And I think like, I don't know. I think like if it didn't work out for them, like if they didn't buy cheap stuff because it was too expensive, they probably would have gave up being musicians because it was too expensive.
Probably, yeah. I'd imagine so.
they were that kind of cheap, like generational kind of cheap, like your grandfather's cheap type of thing.
But it also goes to show that you don't need to spend $100,000, $1 million to make a record, to make a good record, to make a solid fucking record. I mean,
it does. It does show that, yes. Like, but this is the exception to the rule. Like, there's not many bands out there that could do this, and sound like this. There might not ever be a band out there that could do this and sound like this. Like, this may be the only one in the history. I don't know.
All right, so
off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
So Joy, the second EP from '81. Then we get Bean Spill, their third EP in '82. This is another one of those things where it was recorded after something, but then released before the other recording. It was another one of those weird timeline things. But another one that's just like it's much like Joy. There's 4 or 5 songs, all great, but there's nothing really more to say about that. There's nothing really written about him. But
this was on a different record label too, because SST got sued early on in the early '80s.
Wasn't it like Unicorn Records or some shit like that?
Yeah, I read why, but I don't fucking remember, and I didn't care that much, I guess. But that's why this one is on a different record label. But yeah, early '80s still. House producer Spot, right? Spot's the guy that did a lot of the early SST stuff, or helped out at least.
He was like the in-house producer engineer. And then we get into Buzzer Howl Under the Influence of Heat. This is the one that really fucking blew me away. Wow, this one, I really, really want this EP. Came out, it's their 4th EP, 83. This one is also like 22 minutes. I think it's longer than some of their full-length records. So this really should be an LP.
After their second record, though.
It did. Yeah, it did. And this is another thing. Yeah, but it was recorded. Did it come out after the second record?
It was recorded around the same time as their second record,
which is what makes a man start fires, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but like half of the, you know, what is this, like 15 minutes? Half of the songs here recorded around the same time as their second record, but then the other half were recorded, 4 or 5 months later. But their second record was recorded 1982 and then came out January of 1983.
Okay, and that's where the lawsuit came into play. That's why they released Buzzer Howl, because they were whatever Unicorn Records or something was suing SST, but they wanted to put something out in the meantime before What Makes a Man Start Fires, so they put out Buzzer Howl, and that's what we got here, which is it's essentially an LP for them, but it's labeled as an EP. But this is one that they it even said too, this is recorded cheaply even by Minutemen standards. It was recorded in one night at Total Access Studio in Redondo Beach on a 2-track tape, and it cost them $50 to make this record, which is fucking wild. $50 for one session, and damn, dude, this is like
it's a fucking banger though.
And I've mentioned it several times before on this episode, but this is what Fugazi wanted to be. This is what Ian MacKaye wanted to be. Minor Threat, Fugazi. This is fucking what it is. It's just it's a little bit slower songs, not as hardcore, a little bit more complex, a little bit more math rock. There's some funk in here. They've introduced a little bit of funk in here. And this is where we're seeing the shift out of the hardcore punk and more into different styles is on this particular EP. And then especially what makes a man start fires.
So there's more instruments just happening here, right? There's like you have trumpets now, and you have fucking other like backing vocalists that are coming through. But like Georgie Boy like tears this record up.
Dude, he's
like,
so good.
And like getting into like Double Nickels later on, like Georgie Boy, when he was writing, that was peak Minutemen. And then he stopped kind of writing after Double Nickels, and like that was the downfall of them. And I think you needed that, like you just clearly needed that third party, you know, what do you call it? Like uninfluenced third party guy, like the Mark and Tom kind of going together, but you
the
need
mediator.
kind of like
the
the Ringo in the back to say, hey, actually, what if we do this?
The Jerry Finn to the Mark and Tom.
Yeah, you need that third party guy in there to really, I don't know, take away from the push and pull of the two. But then I looked at it real quick, and what it was for the Unicorn Records. Unicorn Records was a subsidiary of MCA, and Greg Ginn wanted mass distribution for Damage, so he enlisted Unicorn Records. So he asked help from the big guys from the Devil if they could help distribution.
That's not punk, dude.
And inevitably, what happened was they were like, "Well, Damage sold more than like you thought it was going to, and you owe us more money." As fucking big labels do.
So fucking shady. So shady.
But like, what a bitch, bro! Like, all you are, like SST, dude. What you stood for was just punk, and then you come crawling to fucking MCA for a distribution deal.
Yeah,
I get it. Like again, I say it all the time. You got to make your money.
Yeah,
you got to make
a living.
money.
You don't want to live in a squat your whole life.
That's silly boy talk, right? This is art, and art, like at best, should be paid for, right?
Yeah,
because it usually isn't. But don't pretend you're a fucking punker when you from the fucking get go. You're begging for distribution deals from the big dogs. A little disingenuous.
Oh, absolutely. So then we get into what makes man start fires, because there is a question mark.
You love your question marks. Dude.
Gotta love the question marks. So yeah, this is their second full length from 1983. Don't do it. And this is much in the same vein as the EP, the Buzzer Howl, where they're moving more away from the hardcore, and just there's a lot of funk on this record too.
So much funk.
A lot of funk, but they do it so
punk
well.
Funk.
Yeah, punk funk. This is also what the first 3 Chili Peppers records wanted to sound like. This is what they wanted,
exactly.
but they didn't. I don't know. I feel like D Boon was a better guitar player than Hillel. I never really got Hillel's guitar playing. I think he was a great guitar player, but goddamn, dude, I think he's overrated. I think Frusciante was a much better guitar player. Going back to the Chili Peppers and that episode we did a few weeks ago.
Except on Californication. But
okay, well, relax. But anyway, the first 3 Chili Peppers records, this is what they wanted to sound like. They wanted to sound like the fucking Minutemen, and you hear it. You hear it in every fucking song off of those first 3 records.
I think
and Flea's love for this band is
comparing the two is absolutely fair. But I think the Chili Peppers wanted to be something more. They wanted to be something bigger. They wanted to be something original and unique. But they just never were.
No.
Like that. I think that's the biggest difference, right?
Yeah,
like I think Kiedis and whatever. But I think Kiedis probably like got in there and was like, dude, we could be bigger than the Minutemen. We could do this funk
but
punk thing.
I'm going to contribute
and
nothing to it.
And take it to the extreme. But then like what they did was just make it radio friendly. They took Minutemen and made Minutemen radio friendly. And like that's where the bucks are at, dude.
I wouldn't say they didn't dumb it down either.
And they employed your idol, fucking Rick Rubin, and like that's when the money really started coming in.
Yeah.
So you're the reason why the Red Hot Chili Peppers are garbage.
Yes, I am the reason.
Because your love for Rick Rubin.
And then, so yeah, this is another record recorded all in one late night session. And then they did 2 separate late night sessions to do some guitar and vocal overdubs, which up to this point they had never done, which is brand new to the band. And now we're seeing the band be more of a band, do more band things, which is still fucking one night to record, 2 nights to do overdubs is still absolutely insane. Like this is like we always talk about like Nirvana's Bleach. that was $600 or $700 to record, and we're like, oh my god, that's fucking nothing.
It's nothing.
That's because it really is. It's not a lot of money.
It's nothing.
But then you go to this band, and it's $50 to record the.
$50.
It's fucking wild.
And
wild.
they probably all had to like dig inside their pockets and pull out pennies and dimes, to, like try and pay for that $50 because.
And honestly,
you know,
these Minutemen EPs and albums don't sound. They actually sound just as good, if not better, than Nirvana's Bleach. Like
they sound fine.
Like production wise, I'm not saying like songwriting wise. I'm just saying like overall, the quality of the records sound just as good, if not better. And they paid a fraction of the cost that Nirvana paid for Bleach, which is still.
And again, so like also too, they get this fucking what's that guy's name? He's from Blue Cheer, whatever the guy's name is who produced the Double Nickels too. But he's from Blue Cheer, and Blue Cheer is a band that like has been kind of hailed in as this early proto punk, early like heavy metal before like Sabbath did heavy metal. But like their first couple records from Blue Cheer are very, very precursor to heavy metal. So like whatever the guy, what the fuck is the guy's name?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Clarence Thomas or something. Ethan James. Not even
close.
Not even close.
Clarence Thomas, isn't he like some like revolutionary?
I think he was he was a justice of the Supreme Court. So
was he? Okay.
Maybe you should know your fucking elders, okay, buddy boy.
Okay.
I don't know if he still is though, but yeah, like
so wait, Clarence Thomas is like a modern Supreme Court justice?
Yeah. I think he's still alive.
Is he? I don't know. Dude, who cares? But anyway, you got the name completely wrong. Ethan James and Clarence Thomas, not even
whatever.
similar.
They're both fucking. Actually, and Ethan James is white and Clarence Thomas is black too. So I was gonna say they're both like stereotypical, just like American names, right?
Yeah, but a lot of black people names are very white sounding. A lot of Washingtons, a lot of Smiths.
I mean, a lot of like the slaves were freed and black people like choose their own names. The freedman thing and freedman. Maybe that is American though. Just like
that is American,
a good strong fucking name. Just I don't give a fuck what color you are. It's a good name.
Good strong name.
Like what's the guy's name? MacGruber. Yeah, that's a good name.
I've never seen that.
Anyway.
Movie. Yeah.
Neither have I.
I've always wanted to watch it because it always looks very, very funny. Like Hot Rod, kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I've never watched MacGruber.
That's on. I'm gonna buy it at Bookman's next time I'm over there.
It's probably streaming somewhere. You can watch it without buying it.
Oh. I don't stream movies. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Lost that.
Clarence Thomas. Anyway, so let's move on. So we have their third album now, Double Nickels on the Dime from 1984. What?
We're going through. We haven't even talked about any of these songs on the record yet. I don't.
What do you want to talk about? I didn't write any
on Double Nickels. You write no notes?
Not for any specific song. I mean, for some songs.
Even though I literally told you to at least write notes for the top songs on Spotify.
Listen to me, dude.
You put that fucking finger down.
Listen to me, dude.
Braked off.
It's gonna get braked off. So the top 10 on Spotify. I did make notes for the top 10 on Spotify.
Good girl.
But let's get into Double Nickels. Like, do you have anything else to say about what makes man start fires? Do you have anything else for that one? Okay. So why are you getting all mad at me for going too fast? I'm just saying, let's get into Double Nickels.
I'm not saying you're going too fast. I'm saying that maybe I did write a lot of notes for the album of the week. I'm just saying that like Double Nickels after this, I'm okay with just glossing over.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, same here.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, this album, third album, 1984. Like I said, this is they ended up recording 46 songs for this one. And going a little bit of background, they went into this record. They had a full album worth of songs. Husker Du came through town. Were putting together a live record, and they were so inspired by that they were like, "Let's fucking get back into the studio." And in 2 weeks, they wrote 20 more songs, and all of these songs, all 46 of them, ended up on Double Nickels on the Dime. So I think it's like 86 minutes long, something like that. And
yeah.
And yeah, and something else that Georgie Boy said about this record was when they recorded it, he said, I couldn't believe that we learned and remembered and played all 46 songs recorded this record. And he's like, and it took a really long time for us to do this. It took about a week or two. It's like, what the fuck? 46 songs in less than 2 weeks? That's fucking wild.
I do think it's crazy because at least with longer songs, you can kind of get it. You kind of like fake it or make it type of thing. You can get into it and like, oh, this is the song we're playing. Okay, I remember now. This has a distinct personality. But when you're playing like 40-second songs sometimes, like by the time you understand like what that song is, it's already done. It's already over. So like playing 40-second songs to me sounds like it'd be more difficult than playing a 3-minute song.
I get what you're saying. There was I forgot what EP it was, but they were talking about how they were given free studio time to record one song, and they're like, but they ended up recording 4 songs instead of 1, and they told whoever gave them the free studio time, oh yeah, this is just one song, but it was just 4 songs altogether, and they played it all at one time. But then after they recorded, they split it into the 4 songs that they were supposed to be in. So they got a whole EP's worth of a free studio session saying it was only one song, which I thought was so great.
Which is on you. If you tell a band like that you don't know what they do and you say, hey, I'll give you one free song. Okay, I'm going to make a fucking 45-minute song. Like that's stupid.
Mind you, it was like a 5-minute song, but they split it into 4 different tracks. So good.
Which I think like their longest song up until Nichols was like 2 minutes tops.
Oh yeah. Very, very much longer songs. This is a big departure for the band too. This is where they're trying to make more songs that are, I don't want to say radio friendly, but just more.
They are making radio friendly songs.
I don't know. I still feel like that's not the proper term. I feel like they're just trying to make more structured, more formulaic songs, more pop rock related, or more pop rock kind of songs than anything else. I wouldn't say radio friendly because a lot of these songs are not radio friendly. There's still a lot of complex stuff going on.
But there's a lot of these songs are radio friendly, and I think comparatively to like their EPs and their first records, these are radio friendly songs. They're shorter. There's some semblance of like a chorus or something you can kind of get behind. But I mean, this is still just early on. Like we're not even taught this. You know what I mean? Like this is fucking not even in the heart of the mid '80s, right? We're like '84 here.
I know, right?
Like who the fuck even know? And also too, like I didn't realize this, and then just the man of the hour, Rodney Bingenheimer, who was just like all over the punk scene and just the cool music of the LA scene.
Rodney on the Rocks.
He loved the Minutemen. He loved Minutemen. He thought they were fucking great. He's like, dude, they're fucking amazing. I'm gonna play them every chance I possibly can. I'm gonna talk them up every chance I possibly can, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Rodney on the Rock, Rodney Bingenheimer a lot, and I mean, he broke so many bands. He brought so many bands to the radio and MTV and all that kind of shit. I mean, he fucking did Van Halen, Guns N' Roses. He did some of the biggest fucking bands out there. It was because of Rodney was a big reason why those bands kind of blew up. So yeah,
and he was just. I mean, not to get into the Rodney on the Rocks pod, but like he was cool, man. He's like S tier fucking DJ.
Yeah. I did read
all the parties. Everybody fucking knew him. Like everybody loved him. He was amazing. He was cool.
I was reading more about him. Actually, maybe like a month ago, I was reading more about him and how he was always a guy who didn't want fame, but he wanted to live vicariously through famous people, and that's why he befriended so many musicians. And he was such a big part of the LA scene. It's because he wanted to have the famous lifestyle, but not actually be famous. Yeah. And also he was like broke. Like he never made any money. Because he was like famous within the scene, but he never created anything, any product, no music.
That's true.
He never did anything. So he always lived, from what I read, he always lived like in the same kind of small condo off of Hollywood Boulevard or off of Sunset. And that's where he's lived for 45 years or some shit like that. Renting it out. True. Like he makes no money. He's just some.
Because he has no brand.
Dude.
Like, what is his brand, right? Rodney on the Rocks. He doesn't own that fucking that trademark, if that's even trademarked, right? Like, the radio station owns that shit. And he doesn't have a brand, so yeah, no, that makes sense. But also, like because we've talked about it before, and like if you could be a rock star, or if you could be like a Josh Freese rock star, what would you want to be? Like, of course, I want to be a fucking Josh Freese rock star. Mm-hmm. I want to be a rock star, but only like at arm's length, right? I still want to go home to my family at night. I don't want to be out every fucking night, but I still want to go to your parties if I feel like it. Yeah. And that's what Rodney Bingenheimer was like a Josh Freese kind of rock star. Yeah. Like I can go if I want to because everybody knows me and I'm invited to everything, but
And it also said
That's
that Rodney, there was like I forgot what diner it was in L.A., but there's some diner and he would go there. He was always there between like the hours of like 3 p.m. and like 8 p.m. because that's when like the rock stars would go into this diner, and he would just hang out there every single day and just like meet up with musicians and stuff like that, people he knew and didn't know. And that was like his local haunt.
Damn.
Was his particular diner, and he did that every day for years and years.
That's kind of sad, actually. That's almost like Rodney's like this tragic figure.
That's kind of what I felt when I was reading about him.
Like, yeah, he broke a lot of bands, but that was because he broke his ass fucking trying to break those bands, right? Like almost at the behest of his own like health and wealth. He made other people famous, and maybe did or did not get any compensation in return. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, reading more about it, it did become more and more sad as I did get through it. And then how he was like unceremoniously thrown off of K-Rock like 5 years ago and all that. I mean, so many DJs were off of iHeartRadio because iHeartRadio is a fucking nasty conglomerate. But as some people are probably listening on iHeartRadio right now.
I know.
But there's like just a terrible fucking corporation. But anyway, yeah. That's where we are.
Oh.
Double nickels on the dime.
Yeah, so anyway, here we are on the album of the week that you took no notes for. So at least we can go over Corona, right?
Are you fucking kidding? I said this like days ago. I said it's just too much. There's too many songs. There's just too much to get into on this record. Let's do more of a overall thing for the band.
I have 43 bangers.
Okay. Okay, Tyler.
See, I know.
43 bangers. 0 stinkers. Not even okay songs. 43 bangers, yeah.
See, I think that was the first time you've been self-aware. That's good. Even fucking robots can learn.
I'm self-aware every day.
Well, starting today, yes, you are self-aware every day. But yeah, Corona is the biggest song. I think like it's by far their biggest song, and it's because of Jackass, right? But then you think like, is it because of Jackass or like because of Jackass? No, because of Minutemen, Jackass had a fucking dope ass theme song. Because Jackass was not like that's something like unique too, and it was a time and place for that. It doesn't exist anymore, and like now we have influencers doing the same thing. And everybody hates them for doing it, but like Jackass existed in a very specific like pocket of like Americana history, and I think this song and the band kind of perfectly like describes Jackass. Just a bunch of nobodies coming together to do something pretty fucking great, but they don't really care about being great, right?
Yeah.
They just care about hanging out and just having a good time, and they don't really give a shit about anything else.
And that's another thing too. Like when the theme song would come, when the show would start, it would have the warning thing in the beginning: do not attempt whatever, and then it would go the fade in of the Jackass logo with the skull and crossbones, but it's the crutches instead of the bones.
The crutches, it's so.
And then so that would fade in, and then the first little riff part of the song would go bam 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 bam, and then it would ring out, and then it would fade out, and then once everything came in, and then they would just show clips from the show, just we're bound to just clip, and then at the very end it would fade out, and then Johnny Knox would go, "Come wash my back, come wash my back." And then it would go into it's so stupid. But you saying like the Jackass guys, CKY guys, they were very DIY. It was very just no money, no budget at all. And that's what this band was. I mean, you have the footage that they would show in Jackass and CKY looked like shit. I mean, it looked like it was done on a handheld. It wasn't, maybe not on a handheld, a little bit better than a handheld, but yeah, it was still very, very cheap, very DIY, very skate video. And that was the charm of, that was also one of the big charms of the show. And these guys, they're nobodies. They're not pro skaters. Outside of, even Bam wasn't even a pro skater when CKY was around. He was close, or maybe he was a pro skater, but he wasn't like famous.
I mean, you can be good, but not a pro skater.
I think he might have been pro, but he wasn't like big pro.
And the whole concept of pro too changed when like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater dropped.
It did change.
After that, then pro meant like you can actually get paid for this, whereas pro before that was just like like Liberty's going to give me a free deck or a free pair of trucks so I can go and wear their T-shirt. Because we asked, when we were biking with Joe and Ronald, we asked Liberty over in Buena Park if they would sponsor us, because we were just going and jumping the backyard jumps over behind the post office. And like, I'll give you free T-shirts if you film it. And then we filmed it once, and this is the first time I saw. Actually, the first time that Ronald ever jumped a good jump, and he crashed hard.
Of course,
and he never.
Of course, Ronald did.
He never jumped after that.
Of course, Ronald.
He crashed hard, dude. His dad was there too.
Always
filming us.
Ronald.
That's funny.
Oh, that's even better.
I'm gonna ask him about that.
Oh,
and stuff.
dude, I wish we saw. Do you still have that video? That'd be so good if you had that video still.
I mean, that's a whole different ball. I don't know if you ever. I don't know. I'll tell you about it after the pod, but.
Oh, I think you know what you're gonna get into. But
yeah, this is a DIY band. This is a band that they're not they're nobodies, and like their band's not called the Minutemen. They want to be called the Minutemen, right? Something so tiny that it's so insignificant. They're making fun of like the right wingers of the Minutemen and all of that. They're nobody. They knew they were nobody. They didn't know how to play their fucking instruments. They didn't know how to write a song. They had ideas, but they had no idea that like what they were doing was so revolutionary. It was so beyond their time. Like they're writing riffs on this album that like people are taking from and still incorporating today. Like there's alt rock here from the 90s. There's pop music in here from like the mid 2000s. Like this is incredible. It's wild stuffs.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I've mentioned it several times. Math rock. Like this is one of the earliest math rock sounding records I've ever heard. Like you start hearing this shit like early mid 90s, especially mid 90s, you're more complicated math rock shit. 2000s and 2010s was all about math rock, but this is like the earliest thing I've heard that sounds like that. I mean, dude, really, it's honestly it's Georgie Boy. That's what it is. Georgie's drumming in this band on this record too. It's just something else, something special. Never sounds overdone. Just always like kind of perfectly placed, like Zach Hill from Hella, but not as chaotic as Zach Hill. It's like if Zach Hill tried to like write like a pop song, that's what this band is. So that's what Georgie Boy was. So I like Zach Hill.
Where
too.
the fuck did he come from, dude? It was just like, even like all the docs and all the interviews I've read and seen with like Mike and then Boone, they're just like, yeah, George, he's good. It's like, do you guys like? Do you?
I don't think they understood how good he
is.
is. I know.
Like, I don't think you understand how good he is. Like
for what he's doing, he's so incredibly tight. It's
you're
incredible.
allowed to do what you do, and you're allowed to go off on the deep end because Georgie Boy will bring it back home.
Yeah.
No matter what, Georgie Boy will bring it back home. He will jazz up your riffs. He will fucking funk up your riffs. He will do whatever you want. But like he didn't even play drums.
I know.
He's not like a fucking classically trained drummer.
Yeah, before I watched the documentary, I thought, dude, this guy's like, he has like a jazz background. He might like some Jimmy Chamberlain kind of shit.
Juilliard fucks
Yeah,
guy.
I thought he was gonna be like some fucking Jimmy Chamberlain kind of guy, a jazz guy playing rock music. But no, he's just some fucking schmuck.
He's nobody.
Yeah, I don't know if he was self-taught, but even still, he has no like real big background on anything.
He has no business being this good.
No.
That's fucking for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, he's
and like
so
the first
fucking
EP
good.
drops in 1980 or whatever, and this comes out in 1984. So over the course of 4 years, this guy goes from being like a good drummer to being like a fucking Buddy Rich drummer, right? That's stupid. That's dumb.
It's just crazy how fucking tight this guy is. I that's the best way to describe him. Tight. He's just, goddamn, he's so good. Almost like a fucking machine.
You can always tell like how good of a musician somebody is when other people are idolizing that person and they can't explain why they're so good, right? Yeah. Like you talk about like Yngwie and like, oh, Yngwie's so good because he's so fucking fast and technical. It's like no one matches Yngwie in his speed. Like for sure, okay, whatever. But like, oh, like why was Georgie Boy so good? He was.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Just tight. Like that's like honestly the only
I don't know.
Say is he's fucking so tight.
Just listen.
I know.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like Mike Watt got better at the bass, and then Booners, he got better at the guitar. He got a lot better at the guitar.
He did, yeah.
But like Georgie Boy, just
consistent.
I don't know. He was on a different fucking level.
Yeah,
like he was stupid good.
God, this trio is just so incredible.
And that hair, that PJ Harvey.
I know. The hair was wild. Or you know what he looked like? He looked like Egon from the Ghostbusters cartoon. From the cartoon
with the big circle in the front.
That's who he looked like.
With the cannoli like sticking out of his head in the front. Yeah.
That's exactly what he looked like.
He did.
Oh shit.
And of course he's buff, right? Like God forbid you're not fucking buff as a drummer.
He was like Georgie Boy, even like in the documentary, which was like early, like 2004 or something like that. He's your typical fucking surfer, Huntington Beach surfer,
white hair, slick
Huntington
back.
Beach, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach surfer. That is fucking Georgie Boy. Like I would never in a million, like if you showed me a picture of him, I would have never said, oh yeah, this is the guy for the Minutemen, or like a hardcore band. I would never put him in a hardcore band ever.
Dude, I think that shit all the time. I think that like if Mike Watt picked me up in a lift, like would I put, hey,
Wouldn't
yo,
know. No.
Are you fucking Mike Watt from the Minutemen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if fucking Smelly dropped off my groceries during the pandemic, like are you fucking what? That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like this, I don't know. Anyway, let's get into more songs. Here.
Yeah, more
I have
songs.
42 more songs.
Okay. Okay, Tyler. So yeah, I went through the top 10 on Spotify. Most of them come from Double Nickels. So Vietnam, just funky,
Viet Cong.
funky ass bass line, that bam 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 bam, and then Georgie Boy, those drums, that just the quick hi-hat open hi-hat, the open close hi-hats, just hitting those fucking on the fucking bass drum hit. Dude, he's so fucking crisp.
So like this is wild. Okay, so like I just backtrack a little bit. So the record is double record,
Yeah.
and it's a double record because Husker Du, Husker Don'ts. If you watch Joe Dirt, Husker Du did a double record, and they were like, "Holy fuck, that's really fucking good."
Well, that's what I said earlier, but
I don't know if you said that. I wasn't paying
did.
attention.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do Husker Du on a later episode. I don't know.
SST season, baby.
So like it's a double record, and they're like, but like we don't have a concept here like they do. So let's just do like an Umaguma thing, to where everyone has their own side, and then we can have like a solo song for each side. And so this one opens up with Boone, Boone at side one, and then it opens up with like the Car Jam, like the Ancient Mofo's, and that's a very very jazzy fun opener. Like this is not a punk opener in any way, shape, or fucking form. And like the Damage, like by this time, Damage is already doing so well that Black Flag can put out pretty much anything now, and it's good, and people love it. And it's not just like Husker Du now, and you know, like Minutemen. There are other like punk bands coming out of this scene that are starting to emerge. It's still early, but they're starting to emerge. And then we get this, right? Like the Car Jam Mofo, the Ancient Mofos. It's a fucking jazz punk song. And it's crazy. And then like 2 tracks later to Vietnam. This is fucking funky. Like how do these kids go from never picking up an instrument to writing fucking this?
It makes no sense. It's like with those
What?
instances where you get a lot of bands whose first record, yeah, they're like 18 years old, but their first record has so many different influences and it's all over the place, but it's so fucking good. It's like Thrice's first record, Identity Crisis. It has like all the thrash stuff. It has the punk stuff. It has all the shit that they were influenced by when they were 18. And then they just threw it all into one record and it's a mess, but it's still fucking incredible. And then after that, they realized, well, let's try to make more straightforward songs. Then it just kind of gets lesser after that point. And I feel like
you're right, that
this band is the opposite of that. They started like one way. They started with the hardcore punk, and then they were like, let's dabble more. Let's fucking do it. And they just expanded on their sound, and they did it better and better and better and better. And then it fucking reached its peak with Double Nickels. It's fucking killer.
Not so much like because like clearly their first Paranoid Android thing, that was very much like a Black Flag release. And so instead of let's try and be Black Flag because they gave us an opportunity and that's what's making money and that's what's touring right now.
Such an idiot.
Let's do our own thing. And the next EP after that they did, but here it really peaked. But then we get to Cohesion, right? Cohesion's the 4th track here, and this is Boone's solo song for the side, right? They all get to track their own song, much like the Umaguma thing from Pink Floyd, which is one of my favorite Pink Floyd records because it's just so.
That's good.
It's so
That's
much
great.
like this. I think like after listening to this, you should go back and listen to Umaguma.
It's been a long time.
And you'll think like, damn, there is like. Because they did take a lot from Umaguma. That was a whole concept of this, not just the Husker Du. They were like, dude, let's do that thing. And the whole thing here too was they drew straws to see who could pick, because they had 45 songs, and they had 4 sides. Okay, let's just start picking one by one. What song do you want for your side? So they drew straws, and Georgie Boy drew the first straw, so he was allowed first pick. And then we'll get into his solo song later on, which is like, what the fuck were you thinking on this one, dude? Just noises, bro. Just noises. So anyway, this is obviously the Boone solo track because it's just a Spanish guitar thing going on. And I like this because it's like, dude, we get fucking like jazz track, fucking Spanish flamenco acoustic guitar. Like, is this SST? Like, what label is this?
You're talking about
weren't you
Cohesion,
guys
right?
a punk band? Yeah, Cohesion.
Yeah.
Which is that Spanish
Flamenco. It's all flamenco.
flair fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's wild. But it's not just wild. It's fucking good.
It's really good.
Like, he's really good at what he's doing here. And this is only like 5
It's
years
just
after
not
he
fair.
took
Just
guitar
not fair.
seriously. Like, he didn't take guitar seriously until his late teens, right? So we're talking like 5-6 years tops from when he started taking guitar seriously.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. I've been taking guitar semi-seriously for now 20 years, and I'm nowhere near that. Oh!
You heard the yell? You heard Tammy yell?
I did.
I have no idea what she just yelled at. That was a
Usually
weird yell.
I usually understand what she says. That one just sounded like a yell.
It was just a yell. Yeah, I have no idea what it was. I think the dog.
No!
I think the dog jumped on her or something like that. It sounded like you get the wind knocked out of you. That's what it sounded like.
Nice.
But yeah, Cohesion it's a wild song. It's just 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes long, and it's just him by himself, just D Boone, flamenco guitar, no vocals, nothing at all.
But what are you doing, right?
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense in their repertoire, in their catalog, but it's good, man. It's just it's straight up good.
I can just see I can just picture like Greg Ginn, like, because again we'll keep going back to the Black Flag Damage thing, because at this point Damage is taking off for sure.
Yeah,
and the LA like hardcore punk movement is taking off, and people are taking it seriously. And so Greg Ginn's like, oh fuck yeah, dude, like Minutemen, you have a new album out. Let me hear it. And he's just like, what the? He's like scratching his head, like, what the fuck? Okay. All right.
Also, remember
whatever.
too with Black Flag, they did Damaged, and then 3 years later they weren't able to put out a record for 3 years, and then they put out everything else with the next 5 records in 2 years. Remember that shit? I forgot why. It was like some lawsuit they were dealing with that SST or Greg Ginn was dealing with. So they put out nothing for 3 years, and then all of a sudden Black Flag
They
just dropped
fucking
everything.
Family Man, My War, Slip It In, fucking that mid '80s era. But those are all just banger after
all good.
banger after banger. All similar though, right? All similar.
For the most part, yeah. Nothing like the Minutemen. Nothing like the Minutemen.
And then the next song we get into is it's Expected I'm Gone. And I saw somebody on Reddit say this, so I'm not taking credit for this, but this is the same. Dave Grohl's a big Minutemen fan too. He said this before. I fact check it via the internet in AI.
Okay.
Just kidding, not AI. I never use AI, but I do fact check through the internet through Reddit posts mostly. Like, that's a lot better. So like this drum beat, Scentless Apprentice, fucking same drum beat.
Wait, what song again?
It's Expected I'm Gone. It's that's a hard thing to say. When
It's
you've been
Expected
drinking.
I'm Gone.
It's expected. It's expected. Why am I having so much trouble saying this?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's Expected I'm Gone. It's all the S's. It's Expected I'm Gone, and Scentless Apprentice. That intro, that drum beat. That's the same drum beat.
Yeah,
and
kind
I get
of
it.
is.
I
yeah.
like it. It's not kind of is. It's, the only difference is a little bit of the hiccup and the little drum roll. At the end.
in the snare part. Yeah.
But come on, that's so
It's
fucking
very
similar
to Apprentice.
from a guy that likes Minutemen.
Yeah.
Get the fuck. The guy that was in a punk band on Discord.
Yeah.
Right.
Also,
who was influenced by
Dave
Minutemen.
Dave Grohl has said I took the beginning part of Teen Spirit from fucking Kool and the Gang, or I forgot what band whatever funk or disco band.
It was some funk or disco.
Yeah,
thing. He's
always said I literally stole this from Kool and the Gang, whoever it was. So it makes sense. Yeah, he would take from Minutemen.
So cool.
And that's not a disrespect to Dave Grohl, because Dave Grohl is just a killer, fucking amazing
Give
drummer.
credit where credit is due. That's amazing.
And I love how open Dave Grohl has always been about his influence and what he's taken and been influenced by. It's like he just doesn't care. He just tells it how it is.
As it should be, right? You're influenced by somebody, and where your influence is your sleeve, but also make it your own, and that's great. So that's the notes I have for it's expected. I'm gone. It's expected.
But it's also a slower jam. It's way jammy. It's very very.
It's
jammy.
a jam track for sure. These guys slay at jam tracks.
They're really good at them, right?
pure fucking poetry. When these three guys get together and they like do three different things, but kind of like go around the same kind of like, I don't know, middle ground of a jam track. You know what I mean? Like, they're not all always in unison with each other. They're all kind of dancing around this overall melody, this overarching theme over the course of a minute and a half. They're amazing at this. They truly are.
And what, going back to what we said at the beginning of this album, they recorded these songs in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, yeah, maybe they okay. I mean, yeah, they wrote 20 of them within a few weeks, and then they wrote the second 20 of them in 2 weeks, and then laid them all down in another 2 weeks. So, best case, they wrote this entire. They wrote, recorded, did everything in a month and a half, which is
a month and a half.
Fucking crazy. It's crazy. A month and a half to do all of this, and there's a lot of shit. It's not just like hardcore song after. It's not like a fucking Circle Jerks over and over. It's not Ramones over and over again. Every song has their own identity, has its own style and feel. Dude, it's just, there's so much going on this record, and
that's why I'm saying.
And I was so overwhelmed.
Circle Jerks overrated. It is overwhelming because there's so many songs.
And that was why we both decided this week, like, we can't just do this one record because there's so much going on, and going through this whole record song by song is just, you just can't do it. It's way, way too much. And I was so overwhelmed. I thought before Minutemen, I thought, oh yeah, I'll get through this in one day. I'll make all my notes. I'll be blah blah. It's going to be fucking easy peasy.
Which you did get through it all in one day.
I did, but after like the second EP, I'm like, there's no fucking way. There's no way. I hadn't even got to the double nickels yet, and I thought, yeah, there's no way. I'm going to need to spend like weeks and weeks and weeks on this band to even properly try to break this down. There's just way too much going on. So that's why we decided to do like an overall thing rather than just focus on one record.
We don't have like that much like nostalgia for this to where someone's like, oh, what does fucking Expected Like I'm Gone sound like? And the way the same way someone's like, oh, what does the party song sound like?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like,
I'll fucking sing it right now.
We could do a 20-song Sublime record. We could do 40 Ounces. We could do Self-Titled or Robin the Hood like that, because we've known those songs for 25 years. But Minutemen, you know, for me, I'm only a week into this. You're only a few years into this. It's way too much.
Drop in the bucket. And this is us at like at an older level, right? Where there's no nostalgia attached to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. This is way too. This is one we'll go back to later on.
Oh, totally.
And give it its proper due. But right now, like, there's no fucking way. That's
too hard.
You can't expect this to either. Like, fuck off, Bocephus, little bitch. I hope he still listens. I hope he still knows he's a bitch.
There's no way that motherfucker would ever listen. No, it's a guy. I saw his profile pic. Oh. All right. So what other song do we? I mean, we're an hour and a half into this episode. What do you want to do?
I wrote songs, so I'm just gonna fly through these.
Okay, let's fly through.
Their biggest songs and the songs I like the most, I'll fly through them. If you have anything to add, you can. If not, then we'll just go through them.
Let's go.
Number one hit song. That was a big one. I like the song a lot. This is like one of my top 3 favorite songs because it's so fucking just poetry,
blues rocky too.
It's spoken word poetry, and he goes, twinkle twinkle, blah blah blah. And that's just like beatnik Jack Kerouac, fucking just stupid ass. That's good stuff. Shit from an Old Notebook. That was another one too that I wrote here. Not that many notes on this one.
I don't have any notes for that one.
Oh no! This is the one that sounds like a Vandal song. So at the 40-second mark, at the 40-second mark of this song, it sounds like a fucking Vandal song, which I can't remember what Vandal song it was.
Let's see. I'm fast forwarding right now, so I'm listening.
But there's a little part in there at the 40-second mark that's like, dude, that sounds like the Vandals, through and through.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's. I mean, D Boon's guitar playing in this song though is very, very, very bluesy, but it's more aggressive, more punky than what you heard. Like when we talk about number one hit song, that song is like very kind of a mid-tempo blues rock bass song, but this is more punk bass, more aggressive and everything like that, but still great guitar playing on Shit from an Old Notebook. So, but I don't know what Vandal song you're talking about.
Okay, so it starts at the 41 or the 42nd mile marker, second marker there. But what the fuck song is that? It's like down.
So you're just talking about like one little transition?
Yeah, that one part. But
no
that sounds
idea.
like the fucking Vandals. And it's like the Vandals do that shit over and over and over.
Okay.
Anyway, the point was like the Vandals took a lot from the Minutemen.
Which I agree.
That was the first time that I thought. Political song from Michael Jackson. This was a funny song that Mike wrote for Michael Jackson. He actually wrote this thinking like, oh, I should send this to Michael Jackson. Maybe he'll sing my song, and the Minutemen will get more recognition. So he wrote the song. He sent it to Michael Jackson's like management firm. Never heard back.
Of course.
Why would you? You know what I mean? That's so funny.
Doesn't hurt to try though.
Maybe parting will help. Flea had said like this song inspired him, and Mike Watt's bass playing on this inspired him. And you can clearly hear
it's
like Flea's
slap
inspiration
bass.
on this one.
Yeah. Also the busy drums. We're talking about Georgie Boy's busy drums.
Oh, so you did take notes.
Just the hi-hat playing between the hi-hat snare and just the quick little tom fills. Fucking incredible. And then it kind of slows down. It gets a little bit groovy. And it'll just drop back into that super fast, punky shit, funky stuff. Dude, yeah, this record, I mean, this album, this song is fucking incredible. It's very Chili Peppers. Very, very Chili Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Under 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. It's what Chili Peppers wanted to sound like, but also wanted to be unique, but never had any business trying to be unique.
Yeah.
Because Chili Peppers just were essentially the Minutemen mixed with generic, like, all rock.
It's true.
Except in Californication, when, like, Frusciante wasn't very good, but everyone else was making up for it with strong melodies.
Speaking of the Chili Peppers episode, the rankings episode, we have gotten some shit on YouTube about how we are completely wrong and stupid for saying the first 3 records are bottom tier and not that great. So
they're terrible. Dude, their first record is their worst record.
I know, yeah, easily their worst
It's
record.
not good.
Yeah.
It is not a good
But we
record.
have gotten
like
some shit from people, DMs and shit like that, yeah. Comments saying I can't listen you guys said the first 3 records are their worst records. I can't listen anymore. It's like, okay.
People that say I can't listen past that. It's okay, dude. Crawl back into your fucking hole and listen to the same top 10 records you've listened to for the whole of your life and just be a fucking cuck. Vote for the same political party you always have, right?
Yeah.
Get the same toppings in your pizza. I do that too, though.
Yeah, I mean,
pizzas. The pizza thing.
That's not a fair comparison with the pizza, yeah.
Yeah. I'm adventurous when it comes to other things. Beers.
Not food though.
I'm not adventurous.
Food is your
your
least adventurous thing you've ever
at all.
Yeah,
at
fuck
all.
with food.
And I'd rather just not eat. I'll starve. Corona's the next one. We talked about Corona.
We did.
History lesson part 2. This is a big one, dude.
Okay.
This is the one. This is the intro to Sublime's Waiting for Maruka.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's crazy too, man. Like Sublime had already been around. They released a cassette and they released like kind of like a demo tape before that, and they were getting some recognition. But their introduction to the world, their first EP, their first LP, the first song, the opening part of it, is a band that they wish they were.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's crazy. You're sampling a band that everybody loves and that's from the same kind of area, and you're like, we're not this band, but damn, I wish I was this band. So you should check out the Minutemen. And like that's cool.
And this song too, it's a slower jam, very subdued, but it's all spoken word. It's really just spoken word, not really any. I mean, it's him singing, but it's just
all
subdued.
riffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is really what Sublime did on 40 Ounces and Robin the Hood. This is straight up what they were doing on those 2 records.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. And the punk rock changed our lives. I never knew that was the Minutemen until this week. Like that, the sample in Waiting for Ruka, I never knew that was from the Minutemen. But then when I would listen to this song, this Minutemen song, I would hear the dog barking.
The dog bark.
Every
the
fucking
nastiest bark too. I have 4 dogs. My dogs have never barked like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
they've
I mean,
never.
Knowing about the dog or Bradley's dog, I mean, he was like a vicious fucking dog, always biting people and shit.
I think like Dalmatians in general are kind of like
They're
more,
vicious dogs, yeah.
I don't want to say vicious. They're more like aggressively protective.
They're hard
right?
to tame.
like people always say, like, oh, pit bulls are fucking, they're vicious dogs. Like, no, it's just that breed, right, is just, I don't know, a little bit more protective than other dogs, I guess. I'm not Caesar fucking Milan or what's his name? Yeah, Caesar Milan. I'm not fucking dog whisperer over here.
We had a Dalmatian growing up. She was really cool, but she was very, very protective. Like if anybody came into the house, because we had her for about 2 years, and then we ended up having to give her to our grandparents, and they had her until she was like 12 before she died. And anybody that came into our grandparents' house, she was like very, very protective, and we kind of have to hold her back a little bit, and then she kind of like cool down, and then she'd go up, and she'd be really, really friendly. But the initial new person coming into the house, it would be like, fuck, yeah, she was.
I wonder if that's
very,
why,
very
like,
protective.
I wonder if like that's why like they're the hallmark of like firehouse dogs, because like taking them out on calls, they will be protective. If like a firefighter goes down, the dog will protect the firefighter over whoever they're saving, right? Because dogs don't know to save like the children or whatever first, whatever. So they want to save the firefighter first.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But she was a cool dog. Cool dog.
I only watched Rescue Me once. You Need the Glory. That's now we're getting to Georgie's picks, and this is what I talked to you about earlier when they all drew straws, and Georgie chose the short straw, so he got the first pick, and this was the song that he opened his side with. Right, this is side 3, Georgie's side, and this is just, it's fucking stupid. It's oil cans and whistling and fucking clapping and stomping your feet and stuff. And even like Mike Watt's like, I don't know why the fuck we allowed him to do this thing, because it's so stupid. And this is the first thing he chose. And I
like it.
Dude, I like it.
Yeah.
It goes in the aesthetic of the band, right? Like, fuck it. Who cares? If it sounds like shit, I don't give a fuck. Put it on there. Love it. And then This Ain't No Picnic. That's the last thing that I would want to talk about, which I don't care that much about. But it's an old rock and roll kind of bluesy song.
Okay. Yeah, it was with like the no, it's not the last song, but it's like much later in the record.
This is the one where like he was like Boone worked at his dad's parts shop, and his dad was a mechanic in some capacity, and listened to a lot of like funk, soul, R&B music, and so Boone listened to all that stuff, and he's playing in the shop one day, and somebody came in and said, "Hey, turn that black music down," but dropped like the hard NER music on that. And then of course, like if you tell somebody not to do something as a child, they're gonna fucking triple down on it. And so he's like, why can I not play this? So he listened to a lot of it, and that's where a lot of the funk came in, which is weird too, man. Because like I didn't see a lot about Georgie's upbringing. It's mostly about Boone and Mike Watt, which I think it's mostly about Mike Watt. But because Boone died and it affected Mike Watt so much, he like retroactively like spilled more beans about Boone.
Also, D Boone's mom was like a major influence on the band, and obviously D Boone. But she died like in 1979. She died really early on, and it was like traumatic for D Boone. Like he never fully recovered from his mom's death because she was so important to him. But I think that was another thing too with the documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a singer, and so she also
guitar player. She
taught doo-wop era.
She taught D Boone how to play guitar too. She was a guitar player. But
so it's just weird, like how much influence like Boone and Watt had from their upbringing, and how little is known about Georgie and why he's so fucking good.
I know, right? Even the documentary never really touched upon it. The doc never really touched upon it. I couldn't really find anything either. But this ain't no picnic. This is like a grand funk song. Like that's what this is. I mean, it's faster, upbeat, it's loud, it's a little bit aggressive for what it for the time.
Checks out.
This is grand funk.
Grand funk from
Straight
Detroit,
up.
right?
Yeah.
Like growing up in Motown and playing hard rock music and blending the two together. Hell yeah.
Straight up grand funk. But I don't know. Do you have any other songs on this one you want to talk about?
No, and also going into like the dad is like a mechanic thing, and then the whole death of Boone. The girlfriend said it was because she fell asleep, but she thought, and then I don't know. That part was kind of sad in the doc because I thought like, how do you not fucking not know? And then I was like, I don't know, dude. If you go through some traumatic shit like that, your brain probably like perma block stuff from your memory to where you really probably have no idea.
Well, let's get into D Boone's death real quick. So in 1985, Linda Kite was his fiance at the time. The sister was also in the car, which I didn't realize until I was reading that. Did you read that interview that Linda did for like Spin or something? So it was Linda, her sister, and then D. Boone was in the back. He had a fever. He was sick. He was laying in the back of the van, no seatbelt, nothing. He was napping on the way. I think they were going out to Arizona. They were on the 10.
In Arizona, they're Centennial,
but I think they were going out to Arizona from California, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, it doesn't matter. They were in the middle of the fucking desert on the 10 freeway, and at the time in 1985, there's literally nothing there in 1985. So they were going out there. It was the middle of the night, and the rear axle of their 79 Dodge van or whatever it was. I guess that was the big issue with those types of vans at the time. But that 79 Dodge van, the rear axle completely broke apart, fell out. She lost control of the van. She flipped the van a couple times. D. Boone went flying out the back doors, landed on his neck, broke it, died instantly. And then her and her sister, at least I understand her sister survived, but clearly
I saw that her sister was like fucked up for the rest of her life.
Was
though.
she?
Like, she got fucked bad.
Fuck. Yeah, I didn't read that part, but yeah, Linda got like the least amount of injuries, and then because of just all the craziness that happened that night and right after it happened, she told the police that she fell asleep, but she wasn't really understanding it. D. Boone's dad, who was a mechanic, saw the pictures, saw the site, did all this like his own investigation himself, and he said, no, this is exactly what happened to the car, blah blah blah. You didn't fall asleep. This is literally what happened. And but unfortunately, for years and years and years, the report said that she fell asleep and it was her fault, which sucks for her. It's like it really was not her fault.
She got shit on for so many fucking years by so many fans of it,
and it wasn't even her fault.
That's not fair. Yeah,
but yeah, it ended
Even
up.
she fell asleep, it's not her fucking fault, right?
Not,
like, dude, like how many fucking people fall asleep on the goddamn freeway? The fuck.
We've all done it.
Yeah.
We've all fucking done it at some point.
Remember with Mike on the way home from Vegas? And
I wasn't there.
We all woke up.
I wasn't there, but I know the story. Yeah.
Dude, in the Cyan, we're like, what was that? It's like, oh, it's pretty windy out here. Like, no, you were sleeping. Like, God damn.
And that's why they do this. They have those things on the freeway now in the middle of the desert. They have those grooves in the road, so when you start going off the road, it wakes you up if you fell asleep, which is fucking smart. Fucking smart. But anyway, yeah. So it was he tragically died in December. It was December 22nd of '85, just before Christmas, and nobody, Mike Watt never recovered really from it.
That was it.
That was, and even in the documentary, 25 years later, or not even 20 years later, he could barely even talk about it. He's like, I can't do it. It's really
choked up.
Yeah, I can't talk about it.
Slow down a little bit. Yeah.
I just can't talk about it. And even Georgie Boy too. Like when he was talking about it, he's like, it was just a really horrible time. I don't really want to talk about it. Like even Georgie Boy and D. Boone didn't have that same connection that Mike did with him. But even Georgie Boy was really affected by it.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
But everybody was like, and then like all the people talking about it in the documentary, and what I was reading after the fact, everybody was just so bummed about his death, and like he was so influential and just such a, like the band could have done so much more after that had he not died. It was just so fucking tragic. He was 27 years old. 27 years old, this motherfucker.
I think like leading into my Rucka wrap up, I feel like Boone dying that early would have been very similar to like had Tony Hawk died early on. Like prior to like the release of the video game, like had Tony Hawk died that early on, it's like, fuck, man, like you're not the best of us, but you're kind of the one that's going to take us to the next level. You're the one that's going to show the world who we are. You're the one that's going to like legitimize our business, be it like skating or like punk music, and not just necessarily Boone, but like the Minutemen. The Minutemen were going to like legitimize punk music and give it to everybody. Not just punkers, but like any people who like fucking stupid like Men Without Hats and 80s and shit. Like Minutemen, we're going to give it to everybody. And so for him to die, it definitely just put a fucking damper on everything. It was like, fuck, man, like now we're going to have to work extra hard. And punk did. Like punk had to work extra hard. And maybe like that's why we got pop punk. It's because that was like the next step up from Minutemen, was to just go full throttle into the goofiness of Minutemen without having the actual punk into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's for a different discussion for a different pod. But
yeah, let's go into the wrap up. We'll rate the record based off of our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album. Or no, we're not even gonna do we're not even gonna do that because we didn't do an album. So what am I talking about? Let's do a record wrap up, finish up the episode, and that's it.
Gotcha. I'm still gonna rate it because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I will too.
I don't give a shit.
I will too.
This is I unlike you, I don't give these out that often. I've been really careful about giving them out because I didn't give Violent Femmes a 3 out of 3.
I didn't either.
Yeah, but you
Joke
give
my ass?
Deftones all of them 3 out of 3s.
No,
and you give a lot of stupid shit 3 out of 3s. So I really don't give them out that often, but I do because like to be like perfect, to be like the best of the best, you can't just have really good music. You can't just be really good. You also have to do something, right? If you want to be the best, like you have to project the best. You can't just have great music. You can't just have amazing songwriting. Like you got to do something for the scene. You have to do something extracurricular. Otherwise, you're just a 2.8, which is a great fucking score.
Yeah.
You're a 2.85, fantastic score. But you want a 3 in my book? You got to do something that lives on forever. Heroes get remembered, but legends
They never die.
never die.
Yeah.
I made that up. So
Okay, Babe Ruth.
double nickels. I don't think Babe Ruth said that. I think it was just from
It was from the
Sandlot.
movie. I know. It was just from the Sandlot. I know.
George Herman Ruth, Baby Ruth. This is a 3 out of
when he
3.
says that in that movie, you're like, fuck, you believe it. God,
Because he's talking to Benny the Jet
the
fucking
best scene in the whole
Rodriguez.
movie. That was the best scene in the whole movie.
That scene is the equivalent of like Yoda lifting up the X-wing to show to Luke, like, bro, do better.
And the acting, dude. The guy who plays Babe Ruth just fucking nailed it. He was just so good, so believable.
Well, Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
He was great too. All the kids.
And then later on, when the adult Benny the Jet Rodriguez is running the bases,
Yeah.
that's the brother of the kid Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Was it really? I had no idea. Oh shit.
Fucking hell, dude!
That's
What
cool.
a fucking movie!
That's a great
Sandlot's so good. It's the cheesiest fucking. I
It's
know.
so good.
Low hanging fruit.
No, it's not even
but
really
it's
though.
a top 5 for me.
It's a great story, and all the kid actors are fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
And that's hard to do. You had like 9 kid actors.
Kids
in that
are
movie.
annoying.
They're
Kids
really
are annoying.
They are. But this movie, every kid actor was fantastic. Every single
Not one of
was
them was fucking Macaulay Culkin. Not one of them was
Elijah Wood.
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman.
Not one of them was
Corey
Elijah
Haim.
Wood.
great.
Dude,
Yeah.
just like no, except for the kid that played Ham, the catcher. He was in like the Big Green. And shit
But that was
like
after The Sandlot.
Yeah,
That was
he
yeah.
was the only like well known one. But yeah,
Anyway.
also the kid that played Smalls went on to be in Next Generation for
Star Trek?
Star Trek. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Gordy. Was that Gordy? No, that was the kid from Stand By Me. Excuse me, not
Okay. Not Sandlot.
Sandlot.
Okay. All right. Continue.
Anyway, 3 out of 3. This record's a 3 out of 3. This
record is banned.
This record is a 3 out of 3. This band is a 3 out of 3.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I think this is a really, really inspirational band. You talk to any punker, any hardcore kid, of this era especially, they're going to tell you the Minutemen are fucking great. I wish I had gotten to them years and years and years ago, but I never did because I'm stupid. Just like we never got into Descendants until like 2-3 years ago. We didn't get into Black Flag until about 4 years ago. You didn't get into Misfits until 5 years ago. Like there were so many bands that we just kind of were like, oh, our favorite bands love these bands. We're like, we don't care enough to go back. But yeah, Minutemen, God, dude, this band is just so incredible. And hearing these songs and so many bands after them, like everybody loves Fugazi. Everybody fucking loves Fugazi.
I like Fugazi.
I like them too. But I mean, there would be literally no Fugazi if it were not for Minutemen. There just wouldn't.
It's true.
There would not. Ian McKay would tell you the same thing. I talked to him a couple days ago. He told me that there would be no Fugazi or Minor Threat had it not been for Minutemen. It's the way she goes. I don't make the rules. So with that being said, yeah, this band is a perfect 3 out of 3. All of these records outside of Project Merch and Three-Way Tie, which we didn't really touch upon, but who cares? They're good, but they're just they pale in comparison to everything else. Yeah, 3 out of 3 band, 3 out of 3 record, double nickels on a dime. I need to spend so much more time with this record because it's fucking amazing. So anyway, yeah, that's all we have for this episode. Thank you all for listening. We're going to continue on with SST season. We're going to do a couple SST bands after this, and we're going to try to have a good time doing it. So thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars if you're watching on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button, as the kids say, and that's it. That's all.